Hey guys, Dr. Garcia here, and we're talking again about metabolism. We've been talking a lot about metabolism lately. In the last video, we talked about the three misconceptions, the three biggest myths about losing weight, about the advice that we get that is interfering with our body's ability to lose weight. We talked about eating less and exercising more. This is probably the most common belief that people have, and it's completely wrong. We also talked about the belief that we have to eat every 2 to 3 hours to keep our metabolism going. Like, I'm sure you've heard this, right? Like, we hear this all the time. You got to eat several small meals a day to keep your metabolism going. This isn't true. What this does is it increases insulin, and it tells your body, it convinces your body to store fat. Okay? And then the third myth is, I'm sure you've heard this one as well, is you got to eat low fat. Because if you eat fat, you're going to have a heart attack or you're going to end up gaining weight. And this is a myth as well. Fat is very healthy. Our brain is 75% fat. All of our cells are fat. All of our hormones are made out of healthy fats. So we want to eat a healthy a diet that's rich in healthy fats. We don't want to avoid all fats. Okay, so today what we're doing is we're talking about one of my favorite words. We're talking about what's called autophagy. So I'm not sure if you've heard this. If you have, if you're watching now, if you're watching on the replay, just let me know if you've heard about autophagy or if you haven't, because I think it's something that you're going to hear more and more about. Actually, the Nobel Peace Prize in 2017 for medicine went to a Japanese researcher, a Japanese doctor, for his work on autophagy. And basically what autophagy means, literally it means self-cleaning. And this is the process by literally which the body goes in and it cleans itself out. Okay, so what autophagy, when autophagy happens, it's actually when our body's in a fasting state. Okay, and I know for some of you that might be kind of scary about thinking about fasting, and fasting, we think about it maybe as being unhealthy or unsafe, and we shouldn't do it, and it's going to be miserable, and like all these things come to mind. But just kind of have an open mind for a second and kind of understand the process that happens during this fasting state. Okay, I literally tell people that fasting is a requirement for healthy aging. Okay, our ancestors fasted, all the time. They fasted really out of necessity. Okay, so what happens is that when our body isn't eating, when we don't have food available, we still require energy. We still have to go hunt and gather and work and do all the things that our body does in order to survive and to live. But if we don't have calories, if we don't have food available, our body's really smart. Our body's really intelligent, and it's going to get that information, or excuse me, it's going to get that food from somewhere. It's going to get that energy from somewhere. And so literally what the body does is it starts eating itself. But this isn't a bad thing, and this is another myth that people think about. They think about when we're fasting, we're going to waste away. Our body's going to break down muscles, and we're going to just live. This isn't true. We know for a fact that when we're in a fasting state, our body actually maintains muscle mass, okay, because we need that. We're going to need that to go hunt, to go gather, to go catch the next meal in order to survive. So instead, when we're in this fasting state, what happens is a process that's called autophagy kicks in. And literally, again, this is where the body starts breaking down old, damaged cells that it needs to clean out. So these are kind of cells that are old, that are worn out, that are damaged, that we don't need anymore. So literally, it's like the body's recycling itself, out with the old, in with the new. And just through daily living, through daily, when our body makes energy through natural metabolism, what happens is our body creates, like, think about a furnace, right? When a furnace burns, it creates energy, it creates heat, but it also creates some smoke. Okay, and the smoke can be a little bit toxic. So every day, all of our cells are producing energy, but they're also producing some toxins. Okay, they're producing a little bit of gunk. And over time, what happens is this gunk tends to build up, right? And if this gunk continues to build up in our cells and our tissues, kind of in our brain and our nervous system, then we get pretty gunky, right? But our ancestors had a benefit because they were forced to do occasional fasts. And during that fasting state, literally what happens is the body gets that gunk out. It uses that gunk to feed itself and to recycle, literally kind of cleaning out. There's research that shows that when you're fasting, literally your body can fast away tumors and can fast away like skin tags. And I actually had a liver spot, and during my second fast, my liver spot completely went away. Okay, so again, just think about this as a natural cleansing, like a deep cleansing process that happens. Another way that I explain it to my patients, it's kind of like when you when you're doing in the kitchen and you cook and you throw everything in the trash can, you got to take that trash out, right? So you take the trash from the kitchen out to the bin in the garage or outside, and then that kind of builds up. But then once a week, you can take that out to the street, and the trash truck comes and hauls it away. Okay, just think about what would happen if the trash truck wasn't coming on a regular basis. So, you weren't able to take that trash out. It would start to pile up, right? It would start to smell. It would start to attract flies. And then, if your neighbors weren't able to get rid of their trash, and this is kind of like, think about your house as the cells of your body, and then your neighborhood as your organs. Okay, if you're not able to recycle and to get that trash out of there, it builds up and it builds up, and eventually it causes disease processes. Okay, but luckily our body is amazingly smart, and it has this innate inborn mechanism called autophagy, where our body literally cleans itself and gets that gunk out. Okay, so autophagy kicks in 2 to 3 days into a fasting state. So I get a lot from my patients is like, well, what about intermittent fasting? Because we talk a lot about intermittent fasting, and I like it. I think it's very beneficial. But intermittent fasting is only fasting for a certain part of the day, and so intermittent fasting doesn't really fully kick in autophagy. So you really have to extend it to 2 to 3 days to get that full benefit, to get the full benefit of autophagy. Okay. And then let's talk about a little bit of research. There's some exciting new research that's coming out right now about fasting mimicking diets. And this basically is a process by which you naturally induce autophagy. And what we're seeing is that when you're in this fasting state, literally your body can regenerate stem cells. Okay, this is like, this is incredible stuff. Stem cells are, people are getting stem cell injections into their joints to help to regrow cartilage. If you can naturally regenerate these stem cells, this can help, it can help, healing. It can help arthritis and old joints and, again, damaged organs literally regenerate themselves, okay? We also know that fasting mimicking diet improves the effect of chemotherapy. So this is based on studies where, when people fast prior to getting chemotherapy, they get less side effects of the chemotherapy and they get better outcomes. There are some practitioners and some belief out there that, that thinking that one of the benefits of chemotherapy itself is actually you get so nauseous and your appetite, you just can't eat anything after you have chemotherapy, and that forces your body into autophagy. So there's a group of people that believe that the benefits of autophagy or of chemotherapy are actually because of autophagy. Okay, it also increases human growth hormone. When we're in a fasting state, our growth hormone, which is our anti-aging hormone, it's the way that our muscles maintain themselves. So again, a lot of people are seeing their anti-aging doctors to get injections with human growth hormone. Well, you get a 300 to 500% increase in human growth hormone when you are in this fasting state. Okay, so do some research. Check out, Google autophagy and really start understanding this process. This again, it's fasting is what triggers autophagy. And unfortunately, the daily intermittent fasting that's so popular that is beneficial. Again, I think that it's something that people should do, but it doesn't trigger this state of autophagy. Okay, so again, I think autophagy is very important. I think that learning and preparing your body how to fast is essential for aging healthy. And one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is it gets your body fat adapted. It trains your body to start being able to use fat for energy, and this helps you to accomplish a fast. So my first fast didn't go so well. I didn't prepare myself properly. I didn't really know what I was doing. Okay, and so it was hard. It was miserable. Okay, but when you are properly prepared and when your body's fat adapted and when your body's comfortable using fat for energy, fasting becomes easy. When we fast our students, we do a 12-week course, and part of that course is we work up and we do we teach these students how to fast, and I do a fast with them, and without a doubt, it's amazing because what people say is not like I was starving and it was miserable, but I wasn't hungry. I was shocked because I wasn't hungry. I wasn't fatigued. I wasn't like tired. I had energy, and once you see this and once you understand this, it's hard to think about it. I mean, I used to think too, like I can never do this. I can never fast. But once you experience it and once you see other people experiencing it, it's a really healthy state to be in. Fasting is a requirement for healthy aging. Okay, so I hope you found this information beneficial. If you have any questions at all, ask below, ask questions, and then we'll see you. We're going to do another video tomorrow. Make sure that you watch tomorrow's video as well.